Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 20 of The Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time, we started the third case, the runaway the runaway room, I believe it's called. And we met, basically, Naruto and Susato. They arrived in London. They went to the Chief Justice, Mael Strongheart. Basically, Strongheart, he accepts Ryuunosuke's proposal of basically him taking Asoki's place, and then basically gave us gave him a test saying, oh hey, defend this client, you get a not guilty verdict, you get to stay here, if not, the guy dies and you go back to Japan. What to say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I'll just say I won't do it. I am a contrarian in that regard. I want to see what happens. Alright then, if I have to give a decision now, my answer is I can't do it. I can't get the words out. The plot won't let me. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation's over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Do I seriously get a game over?
Mr. Naruto!
I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but what could I do?
It's alright, I understand.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Miss Susato means is that no matter how badly I like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. And then a century later, Phoenix. Okay, Apollo, I'm going to have it where you're going... Hey, Apollo, you see that girl in the detention center? She's being framed for her father's murder. She's being framed for the murder of her father, the only person who she's had daily contact with in the past 7 years. And it's also going to be the first trial that's testing out the new jury system that I've implemented in order to basically get my badge back by exposing all of Kristoff's crimes with my stacked jury. Really. And then meanwhile, Phoenix, he's basically doing that whole simulation. He's doing the Mason system. He's telling Thalassa about all the exposition. And meanwhile, Maya's in the background. Nick! Yeah, Maya, what do you want? I'm trying to tell Thalassa here some backstory of my 7-year investigation.
It's just that not only is the scouting girl, the angry ghost woman glaring at you, but now another guy's glaring at you as well.
Yeah, just Maya seeing the ghosts of Phoenix's ancestors basically just glaring at him for using for doing the same thing, except worse. Yeah, just dragging poor Apollo into it. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I am not qualified to do the job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruto! Oh, was there something else? Yeah, screw you! It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that. I don't care what you say. I was quite serious when I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge will pass down. But that's awful. But that's the truth.
Why does it have to be like that?
Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope. So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Okay, I'm not muted.
Oh!
Our timer's up. I haven't been to end. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds to establish my big-ass swimming pool. So, venture into the Grand Sea and enjoy yourselves.
He's gone.
The Old Bailey.
I forgot to do this, Mr. Naruto. We must leave at once.
Sorry. Yeah, the game decides to autosave then in there right away. Yes, grand architecture. Gasp, a bailiff that looks slightly different. Two bailiffs that look slightly different from each other. Yeah, this game. Yeah, that's how you know this game's getting serious. When the bailiffs don't look like clones of each other.
Oh, thank goodness, we're here in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked perfectly.
I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege.
Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Yeah, and then she's taking some Morgan face sprites. Yes, I suppose there's that.
Anyways, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defense should be here, but there's no sign of him at all.
Sorry. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruto?
I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels as though, like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed.
Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment.
Top of the morning to you, madam. Sir. What are yous doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would ye look at the expressionless faces? From the east are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much, do you need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a bait to your name, and all waiting in a stranger, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Nothing, say nothing now.
1,000 guineas?
Please, Miss Susato, you don't have to shout.
But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo.
What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. Yes, I love how McGilded is basically just, he's like, I am not evil. Just ignore the fact that I have suspicious sounding music and am staring at you with a semi-sinister gaze while flipping a gold coin. And also just ignore the fact that I look like some weird James Bond oil baron from some Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning cartoon. I've had enough wealth to buy the City of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain ever fall one day? Have you ever been to London? I love how I'm giving this British guy a JFK voice. Some bad JFK impression. Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye! Good, now take your shirt off. Don't get me wrong, Phil, I'm not giving to you no strings attached. You aren't? No, of course not. Now take your shirt off. What? Oh, you heard me, boy. Take off your shirt and dance for me. You earn your money with McGilded. I don't think this is appropriate. Oh, I'll tell you what's appropriate. Now take off your shirt and dance. I'll be waiting for you to do something I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Dance! Take your shirt off and dance! Oh? To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. I normally only ask guys on the side of the street to dance for me. This trial is about to begin, you see, it's for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do, is come along with me and stand there beside me. I am in no way a suspicious and malicious individual. Officially, you would be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you gotta do is stand there next to me, nothing more. Of course, you may have to take off your shirt and dance for me a little. It calms me down when I see a young man like you taking his shirt off and dancing for me. Otherwise, you see, that trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial?
Blustering blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names. No, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there's the center of London, is another beautiful park. Hyde Park is crap compared to my park. Sorry, a park, what? It's called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers and the spring and the singing birds and whatnot. It makes Hyde Park look like a freaking slum. All the hobos go to Hyde Park, but they don't pee in my park. My park is 98% free of hobo urine. And only the classiest of call girls come to my park. I donated to the city, so I did.
An entire park in central London?
A city of smiles. It's my vision for London. A vision of my smile on every billboard. I'm gonna run for mayor. I'll make it where this city really improves. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its square old people. Though not the young people. The young people, they only useful for dancing for me with no shirts on. Yes, okay, McGilded. Okay, yeah, there we go. There's the intro form. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now that they've got the goals, I'm some good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. Freaking just because I look like the villain from a 1980s Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning cartoon, and that I had this suspicious sounding music, I am no villain. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? I bribed them. Who pays the bribes? Magnus McGilded. All I did was kick a puppy 3 times last week, and that was only because it was trying to piss in my park. And oh, Oh, also, they never ever get over the fact when you scream at a young child for having the audacity to step on the grass in your fine-ass park. Ha! 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 Alright, don't pass out. I'll pass if I want, I'm rich.
Mr. Naruto! Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea. Ha! 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 Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. Ha! 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 Actually, no, I should be doing ha! 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 So if you don't have a lawyer for this trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself on our hands, we'll do our best. What was I saying, you deaf Egypt? I'd give you 1,000 guineas to stand up there and to me next to me, haven't I? Though like I said, I may ask you, young man, to take off your shirt and dance for me. Do a little jiggle, touch your tummy and rub it, and also pat your head. Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand there next to you. Of course you are. You are my trophy lawyer. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? Oh, I know what you're thinking. This character of a fella claims to have more money than the queen, even though it's true. But if that's true, why in blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did. That's the only explanation. Well. Exactly. Yes, exactly. What now? Well, like you said, if you have all that money but don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no logical conclusion then. You're just guilty of the charges. I'll kick your ass in the night. Well, you call a spade in the east, so you do. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. And I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so... Is that so? Because you sound fluent enough when you were telling me what a blackguard I must be. I'm terribly sorry. Oh, I can't say that I blame you for thinking it, fella. It is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean? That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry, did he just say Reaper? I have to be the one to... Oh, great. Now I have to be the one to give the whole exposition of how your rival prosecutor is the top of the top. The best of the best. The guy who's going to kick your ass 5 times over, but you will win every time. I, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barok van Zieks, is the prosecutor.
The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper.
When Van Zieks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused sacrificial lambs. But I am no lamb, I am a mighty elk. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the deepest situation. Where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend at the Old Bailey.
Goodness! Lord Barok van Zieks! He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then.
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way to the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel? That would be me. Though the judge isn't getting a British voice. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here, I made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? Simple. I would have gone to bailiff to take off his shirt and dance for me while I laid down the most kick-ass case in all of London. I would have brought in fireworks. I would have brought in sparklers, maybe some TNT. I would have a real episode. But then you made an appearance. I'll sue in the law, won't you know? It's no accident. I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I'm just having a blast voicing McGilded. Doing the McGilded voice. I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't turn my back on him.
Mr. Naruto!
The man has no one. You'll have to stand alone in that courtroom. You'll have to, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the solid trial, you will lose your right to stand. Darn my exposition. I'll be right there. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. Yes, the big-ass scales of fire. 18th February, 10 o'clock a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. No other courtrooms, just Bailey courtroom. And the jury. The juror system. Christoph Gavin. He senses a disturbance. He travels back in time to stop this. So this is the highest court in Great Britain. The Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time.
It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruto?
Oh, yeah, what? Naruto and the crazy eyes.
Your eyes look ready to pop out your head again.
I know, but I just can't help it. I am a vampire. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. Why does he look like a vampire? He really does look prepared to dispatch his next four victims to the underworld. That or sleep in a coffin tonight. I can't decide. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready, and I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Yeah, then we get this edge. Basically, we get Edgeworth 0.5 that was somehow more posh than the original, than Edgeworth himself. Those eyes please me, Japanese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, sir, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, my lord, it is a grand thing to have opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off the Far East. It is not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance. That is why after I win this trial, I will buy all of the islands in the world. They will be mine, and I will name them all the McGilded Isles. Every island in the world except our island, because I already own our island. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen, Mr. McGilded, what a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day?
Mother, may we please go play McGilded Park? It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded.
That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him.
Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, my lord, if the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always said we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Ha! Any criminal here will soon be wishing they were eyes on me, because I killed the man in the gunhouse of the courtroom! Look at my knife! Look at my face! I am the man of trustworthiness! I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. What's seriously smits for me grandson? Mr. Naruto, those people are...
The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court finds Marburg depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentences according to law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
Big ass torches. That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes.
Prosecution von Zieks, my lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you in this courtroom. I thought you'd renounce your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstances of which the court should be aware?
Well, we'll learn that next episode. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, choose what you want. Without, see you next time. Bye.